When I was in France, I worked for a television company, and Jamie Oliver was coming over. He had to do a broadcast to America, but he was in France at the time, so we had to cope with the broadcast. But because he's a celebrity chef, but he's English, the French didn't believe he could be a celebrity. So I had to deal with all the everything to do with that, all the production. I was a production assistant for him, basically. So that was quite interesting. I got to meet Jamie Oliver just because the French didn't think he could be a celebrity.
I can think of a number of incidents that happened both on my year abroad and subsequently where it's been really useful to have languages. One of them involved giving a man directions. We came across a man in the street on my year abroad who was completely lost, had no idea where he was. And in the course of trying to direct him to the right place, because we knew where he needed to get to, we noticed somebody come along and firebomb a car. So we had to call the fire brigade, and the fire brigade came and put the fire out, and then me and my friend had to give an interview to the police about what happened and give a description of the man. And thankfully this was at the end of my year abroad run in the beginning, so we were able to cope with the situation fine. But yeah, it was a bit dramatic, and I was very, very glad I was able to speak French in that scenario.
Yeah, I did have quite a few adventures whilst I was away. We went to a community which was about 7 hours away from the town that I lived in on these really awful roads, and we were travelling in a truck, but on the way back the truck broke down and I had to get back to the town because I had something to do that evening, and so I ended up getting on the back of a pickup truck which had about 8 other Bolivians on it, along with bananas, potatoes, trees, wood. So I ended up sitting down on a load of potatoes with bananas at my feet, surrounded by Bolivian men, with a puppy sleeping on my foot for about a 3-hour journey. And when I got off the truck, I couldn't really walk. So that was an amazing adventure, yeah.
Towards the end of the year, every time we had a problem, we needed to sort out our internet in our flat. And at the beginning of the year, if you answer the phone and you're talking to someone in Spanish, all you hear is someone speaking really fast. And by the end of the year, when we wanted to close our internet and sort out all our finances and everything to do with the flat, we could just speak it and we knew what they were saying.
Just I remember when I was travelling in Cuba, we were going on sort of hired bikes, and they were really rickety old bikes and they didn't work, and we were going up to look at Che Guevara's prison, and we were cycling this road, there was nobody around. My bike broke, and I'm thinking, gosh, what can I do? And this little old man cycled past, and we, because of Spanish, we were able to just say, look, is there anywhere we can go? We didn't have phones or anything. He just stopped, chatted to us, fixed the bike, and got off his bike and went off again. And just things like that, I wouldn't have been able to, I mean, I probably could have gestured, but it made it so much easier, and I was just thinking, yeah, I can do that. And then being in Spain, just that first month when you think, yes, I've done this, I've gone on my own, I'm here, I found a flat, just think, yeah, I can do it.
I think I can give you an example of when languages maybe have improved people's perception of people from Britain. I know that in the UK we have quite a poor record for learning languages, and so I've found on a number of occasions when I've spoken to someone in French or another language that they've been really surprised that as a Brit I can speak to them in their own language. And I'm reminded of a few years ago when I was working on one of the large conferences for Motorola, and we were having a drinks reception before going out for dinner, and there was one chap who was a bit away from the fray by himself and no one was talking to him. It turned out that all my colleagues that were there weren't able to speak to him because he only spoke French and didn't speak any English. So I went up to him and introduced myself, and we spoke for quite a while, and he was surprised that I could speak French. And he also said that it had changed his perception of British people who we felt were rather, I suppose, linguistically arrogant in the fact that they hadn't made an effort to learn a foreign language. So that was quite a nice experience, and he was a nice chap, and we talked about business and put the world to rights.